Welcome and thank you for joining us today.
We're Derps and Burps, the podcast for all gamers, spiritual souls, and creative minds out there.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our podcast. And today, I think, is the first topic that is a little bit heavier, if you will. This is a little bit more on the sadder side, or it comes from a place of not necessarily the usual happy place that you know us both from. It was me that wanted to talk about the topic today because I feel like I'm failing today. So today, the topic is gonna be it's okay to fail. But before we start to get into that, as usual, Steffi has the listener of the week for us, and today we have something different, right, Steffi?
It's a comment on Instagram on a wheel,
A wheel,
on a
the wheel
reel,
goes
guys.
around and around.
If you don't know, Julia started posting reels of like it's little clips of our like funny moments of the podcast on her main channel. We will be doing this on our Derps and Burps channel on this Instagram as well soon. So this is the comment here from Mellow Snello 08. Oh my god, my new favorite thing, foreign girls reviewing awful dilly dallies. That was a comment under the reel where I was talking about the leaning tower of Pisa reel. I don't know if you
Penis
remember
picture.
Yeah.
That
The
Steffi
OnlyFans
got.
episode, guys. The OnlyFans.
Exactly. If you haven't listened yet, you should definitely give that episode a try. I think it was the most successful episode till this day.
Yeah,
And
obviously.
and I just wanted to say I had a call with OnlyFans 2 days ago. Not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. When this is out, I don't know if I should share it. Like, I already have an account and it's verified now. So
She's starting, guys.
I don't know yet what I'm gonna post. Maybe just some behind the scenes stuff. I don't know in which direction my OnlyFans is gonna go, but it's there, guys. I'm gonna just link it in.
We have
in
all
YouTube
the
thing.
possibilities.
Oh my god, I haven't even shared that yet. You know, now that I said it on a podcast, I can't take it back, so I need to put the link out there. God fucking damn it.
Yep.
Oh no, Steffi, you need to help me set it up.
Sure. Don't worry, I can give you all the tips and tricks.
Hell yeah,
and
let's go.
share everything
Okay.
with you.
Yeah, but sorry for a little bit coming off the topic. See, that's usually what I do when I have certain days where I don't feel like the best. I used to distract myself with other topics, so that's what I just tried to do. But yeah, today's topic is it's okay to fail. And as I said a little bit earlier already, I feel like I'm failing at the moment when it comes to my job, which is social media, which is Twitch in general. And the hard part for me is, so for the people that don't know, I full-time stream on Twitch, which is a gaming streaming platform. And for the people that don't know the whole background, many years ago, like 2014, 2015, I used to be really successful on Twitch. I had like, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 viewers every time I streamed. Then I dipped down. I changed playing different games and so on and so on. And I would say the last years it kind of stabilized on having like, I would say like 100 to 150 viewers. And the last year was a little bit of an upwards trend because I felt like it's mostly because I think I started working on myself and I became maybe a more balanced and happy person. Like, I just noticed it myself. I don't know if you're the same. I prefer to follow people and consume content from people that are not necessarily all the time negative, if that makes sense, right? So I used to be a really negative person in the past that was complaining a lot about things and, you know, always trying to play the victim and just complaining a lot. And I realized that is something that made myself really unhappy, but also reflected on my content. And now that I know it and I'm not like that anymore, and I reflect on it, like, if I have so, like, don't get me wrong, it's okay to complain and be negative sometimes, you know. It's part of life to not always have the good days. But I just noticed, I don't know if you're the same, but if I have somebody that, even if I like that person and that person is just being negative over and over and every single day and finds no piece of happiness in a day, I tend to nowadays mute those kind of people. I have to admit, because it pulls me
Yeah.
down, and it's not the
Yeah.
things that I
Yeah.
want to let into my life. How is it for
It's
you?
very draining, very energy draining. It depends on the people, I guess you said, if it's someone you like or it's like someone in your friend circle.
Mhm.
To be honest, like with social media, I don't know why it's a weird thing for me because I barely see anything from my friends on any timeline for some reason. I keep
Okay.
getting all the bigger company posts. Like for example, now my whole timeline is flooded with Star Wars, obviously, because of the Obi-Wan Kenobi teaser. So I only get these things on my timelines. But you remember, like, whenever you tell me, "Oh, Steffi, did you see our friend or one of our friends posted this and that?" And I say, "Huh, what? No," because I don't know why, but I barely see these things.
You know what I
Instagram is like
do?
completely fucked
You
up.
know what I do? I just put on the notifications. That's how it works for me.
Yeah, but the thing with
I know
I
it's
started
annoying, but like
I
the bell
started
thingy.
to not like turn on any notifications, but only for those things where I either like work on, for example, Riot Games when they post
Mm,
something new and I react to it or whatever. Um, because I'm getting so like overwhelmed with all these notifications. So I started like not having or barely having any notifications on my phone or
yeah.
receiving any notifications. So I barely see these things for some reason. But sometimes if someone likes it, I see it on my timeline and then there's like, I don't know, any complaint or whatever it is. And
Mm,
it's just like then I'm just digging deeper and deeper and like I go to the page of this person, then look at the tweets and just like
yeah.
get
Catch up with
angry and
everything.
annoyed. Yes. And then I'm so close to like posting or like commenting on any of these posts, but in the end, I don't do it because I know it's not worth my energy right now.
Yeah.
So I just try to let it go again. I see it in stories sometimes on
Mm.
Instagram. Um, I acknowledge it and I try to then just delete it from my brain again.
Oh
It's
yeah,
hard though
I don't
sometimes.
interact with that stuff at all.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
everything
yeah.
negativity, like I feel like one of the things that is annoying to me is that a lot of the social media meta, and I mean if you think about it, it was the same in like let's say the old type of media, doesn't matter if it's TV or
Yeah,
newspaper, stuff that always works is
drama.
drama.
Yeah,
Exactly. And that's the
it's the
same with
same
social
here.
media.
Yeah,
Exactly. And I
with Twitch, with everything.
yeah, exactly. And obviously if you want to have a certain reach and be on top of things, you need to interact with the drama. It doesn't
Yeah,
necessarily have
yeah.
to be like, I mean, I know a few people that interact with it in a positive way and trying to resolve it and have like
Mm-hmm.
neutral standpoints or whatever it is, but I have to say I just completely stay away from everything, no matter
Yeah,
if
same.
it's a positive comment or a negative one. Like I just don't want to be involved. I just can't be bothered with that. But that's also
Yeah.
something again that has to do with failing, because sometimes, especially in social media, you could go the easy route and just be like, you know what, okay, my view numbers are low, you know what I could do, I could just tweet something super
Drown in self
controversial.
pity.
And either that I'm like gonna tweet out how sad I am and that I'm not gonna be able to, I don't know, make a living if it goes on like this. Yeah. Or
Mm.
and again, like nothing against the people that do it, like everybody has their own way of coping with it, but for me personally, I think you said it earlier before, for me there's two types of persons, and I'm not sure where I got those terms for, because I think we talked about those kind of people already, like the energy
Mm-hmm.
vampires. I think we called
Mm-hmm.
it before, and I
Yeah.
actually I can't, sadly can't recall right now where I got it from, but actually got a better term for it. So there's battery drainers and battery chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Two type of people. So
Yeah.
the people you spend time with that fill up your energy, that makes you feel good. And there's the people that just drain that energy from you completely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I just try to stay away from that, and I try to not be a drainer. I try to be a charger.
Yeah.
So that changed for me. But again, to go back to the topic of failing. So I was pretty stable since the end of last year, or like mid of last year to end of last year. I was able to build up my viewership from, I think I was like 120, 150 average viewers, and I built it up to almost being at 200 at each time that I streamed, and I was super super happy because
Mhm.
I manifested it. I wrote it down in the beginning of the year. My goal is to get an average of 200 viewers again.
Mhm.
And I really worked towards it with a positive mindset and trying to be a battery charger for people, right? People that consume my
Mhm.
content. I actively try to be, in the past, I don't know if you remember, like I often had those days where, so I would sit after my stream in front of my PC. I would put on my playlist, the only sad songs, we all know it. And I would just sit there for hours and listen to sad music and make myself feel sadder because I feel like
Mm.
even if the music makes it worse, once you've reached that bad point, it can't get
Yeah.
worse from there. It was my kind of thing. And I often shared that, like, that I have like a bad day like this. And I try to consciously not do that because I feel like it would feed into it. It's almost like, again, law of attraction, like you put something out there, it's what you attract, right? So I really try to be positive, and it worked so 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 well. And don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, I'm still there, like with what I'm doing right now. It's not like I want to shout it out there, oh my god, I'm failing, everything is shit, I feel bad. No, not at all. I want to, with this episode, as I said again, it's titled "It's Okay to Fail." I want to bring out the message that right now, on paper, I'm failing and I'm fine with it. Like, if
Mm.
just to come back to the point, like at the moment I'm averaging like 100 viewers, so I halved my viewership from winter last
Yeah.
year to now. And that is something that is like, and I do all the things. I'm being positive. I try new games. I try to play the meta stuff. I try to play what I feel like playing. Like, I'm at the moment, I'm like again in the situation, where I try so many things, even my cooking streams, which are usually
Mm.
the streams that like always have 300 viewers, 400 viewers sometimes. And now I can barely get 150 to 200 when I do my cooking streams. And I'm like, man, what is it? What is it that I'm doing wrong? And I realize now, looking around, before, sometimes you have on those blinds, like the horses have, like on the sides,
Mm.
where you
Yeah.
just focus on
Tunnel
yourself.
vision.
Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
tunnel. Thank you. Exactly. That's what I meant. So you have the tunnel vision. And now I like kind of try to put those away and look around and see the bigger picture. And I see
Yeah.
that it's actually a lot of creators that have the same problems and write the same thing. And now that I think about it, it's the same thing every single year. You have twice a year for the people. Again, if you don't work in social media, you're probably not super aware of that. But there are ups and downs in the time that media gets consumed. So there's usually always like really good times and high times. During winter and fall, that's when like the people, summer
Like the
ended,
last
people are
quarter is
more,
very
yeah,
strong.
exactly.
Mm.
Everybody gets or not everybody, but a lot of people get like their winter bonuses. They spend more
Yeah.
money. They have more time at home. They're not outside that much. And those are usually the months that are always really, really good.
Yeah.
Then, whenever something's going good, it needs to crash down a little bit again. And that is usually this time. Then there's going to be like a slight upwards direction again till like, I want to say like June or something like that, till it gets really summer. And then there's
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
summer
And then
hole again, where
the big hole.
the big hole in summer, where there's nobody around, where everybody's going on holidays. Hopefully we can do this
Yeah.
this year again. So there's always those times, there's those ups and downs. And now what I'm doing, instead of drowning in my own self-pity and thinking that everybody hates me, I try to look at the bigger picture and be like, hey, okay, look, it's not only me, it's everybody. I check
Yeah.
like Twitch tracker, I check like even the tweets that some people are putting out. I saw so many lately that people are like, oh my god, I'm so frustrated, I don't know what to do. I try to put out the best content, but nothing is helping. My numbers are
Yeah.
just going down. And yeah, I just try to keep that in focus, that it's not me in particular as a person, that it's my fault that I'm failing, but it's just the whole environment on how Twitch works, on how social media works, and so on. And also,
Yeah.
we have to think about that. I think you said it already when we shortly talked about it. Like, the whole restrictions are falling, right, Steffi? So
Mm-hmm. With the pandemic and everything, people go out more, can do more again, cinemas are open again, and so on and so on.
no
Like
more home
there's so
office for
much.
many people.
Yeah, there's so much going on. So people are not only at home anymore.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
don't only like or watch less like in or spending less time on the
On social
internet
media.
right now,
I mean,
on
just
social
think
media
about it.
especially.
I mean, everybody saw it when the whole panini started, right? How we
Yeah,
like to call it.
global panini
The global panini
with
started
Corinna.
exactly with Corinna. um, what I wanted to say. Yeah, exactly. Like the numbers of Twitch, YouTube, everybody, everywhere went up because obviously when you're in a home office, you know, maybe some people at home they have like a second device where they can
Yeah,
consume content while they're working, right?
yeah,
Or like maybe because they spent their break at home watching a YouTube video, watching
yeah,
streams. While when you're at work, you know, you maybe don't do that. You go into a canteen and hang out with your coworkers and stuff. So obviously the consumption of media rose a lot, and so I guess it's like a combination of many things happening at the same time. It's getting warmer and so on. So
mm,
yeah, that is something that weighs on my mind right now. That I kind of, so again, we're again at the same topic. Like I emotionally feel like I'm failing, but the
mm.
difference to a year ago is that I intellectually know I'm not failing. It's just how it is right now. It's just gonna be like a duration of time. You know, it's just gonna be
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a question of time till it's going upwards again. And that's what helps me right now, and why for me it's okay to fail right now because I know that in a few weeks I'm gonna be winning again, and then
Mm.
it's gonna feel great, and the imposter syndrome is gonna fail again when the numbers are rising. Then it's gonna be the exact opposite. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, people are watching me again, but why? Like I don't
That's the
deserve this.
thing.
It's so weird. It doesn't matter what
You
you
know
do.
what? Yeah, and you know what I like started or like I started thinking about this
Hmm.
recently, like a few days ago, especially for example, I'm doing the reaction content on YouTube, right? And I have hell
Hmm.
a lot of views on these. But the thing always is like there's some people, like some successful people that are successful because of who they are, like how they are, and some people they are successful because of the content or the game or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
I keep thinking about like how can I be or how can I convince you to like my content because of me and not because of the game I play or the things I do on YouTube, for example, because I know
Mm.
YouTube works for me because of reaction content has become a big thing. And I enjoy showing my pure emotions unedited with you because I'm a very emotional person. So people like my reactions to it. I don't fake anything, I don't edit anything. I do not make anything prettier because it's basically raw material to show you how I feel and react the first time I see something. So
Mm.
that's what works for me. But I asked myself recently if people, some people are here for the content or if they're here for me or because of me. And
Yeah.
same with Twitch and everything. Like, how can I turn this around that I don't have to like with the gaming content, for example, gaming content on other social medias for me doesn't work as much as just plain stupid trending shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I just ask myself, like, how can I convince you that I am the person you like to watch, not because of the content, but because of me?
Yeah.
And I obviously like I know I need to post more because I barely post anything I do on Twitch.
Mm.
Like I don't really post reels on or TikToks or anything.
Honestly,
Um
you should start posting the reels that we do from the podcast as well.
that
Like
as well, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like for sure. Like those are great, and I
I
mean it's free content as you
it
say.
is,
Like,
it is.
and you know what I enjoy a lot about the podcast as well. It's because I feel like on every social media I have to every other than a podcast, I have
Mhm.
to kind of squeeze into a mold to
Yeah.
somehow work. So as you
Yeah.
say, if
Yeah.
you want to be successful on Twitch, the thing to do right now is doing reaction content live on Twitch, right? For me
Yeah.
personally, it doesn't work because I
Mm.
don't know, I'm just not made for that. I'm still one of those OG people that started just playing video games on
And
the
that's a
platform.
good thing. You watched Devin Nash as well, right? The
Yeah,
latest
yeah.
video.
Oh, yeah. It's so good. Thank
Yeah.
you, by the way, for
Yeah.
telling me. That video is so good. If you haven't seen it, Devin Nash came out with a new video on his YouTube channel. If you don't know who Devin Nash is a former, I think he was a former COO. As he was not a CEO, but he worked for CLG before. Now he has his own social media agency where he works with talents and connects them with brands. And he also has a lot of like background knowledge about Twitch, about YouTube,
Yeah.
about social media in general.
He's one of the OGs as well.
Yeah, he's a super
on
intelligent, super great guy. And he made a video which is called Why Twitch Lost Its Way, which is super interesting. If you're into those kind of real talk topics and really like fact-based things, and he brings up such good points and like what happened to Twitch when they got bought from Amazon, which people are in like the higher up positions, what happened that all the OG people that started to build Twitch as a gaming platform are almost all of them not there. I also didn't know that DJ Weed actually left Twitch. Did you know that before the video?
I don't even know this guy, to be honest.
You don't know DJ Weed? He's like,
no.
I'm not sure what the exact title was, but he, first of all, he was always streaming on Twitch, and he was one of the higher ups, like one of the highest people in Twitch for a very long time. And he always made a show, I think it was like once a week or once a month, I'm not sure, where he would talk about the news, like new changes that are coming to Twitch, and he would present them live on stream, so that the people from chat can actually ask questions. And he would not be like, Twitch is posting their information and then they're putting it on Twitter and that's it, and there's no discussion about it. But he introduced the changes back in the day, and you could go in his chat and have a conversation, open conversation with him, and he would be okay, look, we're implementing these changes because of this and that. And then if somebody has questions or feedback, why not? Like, he would have an open and honest conversation why the decision has been this or that for Twitch. So he, for me personally, again, like, I'm sorry I don't have it prepared. I didn't even thought about that we would talk about that today. But if you want to know more about that, like, for example, Devin, that would be a person I would love to have on a podcast one day. I don't know if you would be up for it, but that would be something.
That's a big fish, though. I'm kind of intimidated.
Same. Like, I would probably shit my pants if we would have Devin here one day. But anyway, what I wanted to say, so DJ Weed was for me kind of the link between Twitch as the company and so the middle part between like Twitch and the community. So he was the one that was
at least someone.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, obviously, have that nowadays.
Don't get me wrong. There's like more people that do that maybe as well, but maybe not as public and with such a big reach as him. So for me, he was always somebody that looked up to, and I actually, till I watched the video of Devin, I didn't even know that he departed from Twitch, which made me really sad, and just showed again that I didn't follow him as aware as I should. But yeah, anyway, sorry, we completely drifted off the topic again. But again, really good video. We're gonna link it down in the
YouTube description.
Exactly. So yeah, what I wanted to say, sorry, to get fully back, is the podcast is the only platform where I don't feel like, oh, I need to say certain things to be liked, or I need to talk about a certain topic that works. But like Steffi and me, we show up like every Friday when we record those episodes, and we're like, okay, what do we feel like talking today? And then we just talk and we let it flow. There's no editing, there's no cutting, there's no like TikTok 15 seconds high energy content that you need to power produce and I don't know, smash out 10 videos at once and then scheduling so they post the regular. Or like on Twitch, there's no you need to be live at least like 5 to 6 times a week. Or on Instagram, if you don't do the whole thing with question and answers and polls so you get the interactions on your stories, then your whole reach is going down, and so on and so on. At least for now, I feel like the podcast is kind of my safe space where I
Same.
talk about stuff that I maybe sometimes not. Or I mean, I talk about that stuff on stream, right? And you do that too. But I
Mm,
feel like obviously the people that watch on Twitch are sometimes here to see, it's different people. There's some people are here for you as a person. Sometimes people
yeah,
are here for the game that you play. Sometimes it's the combination, so they only watch you when you play League, or they only
yeah,
watch you when
yeah.
you play Valorant or whatever it is. And there's some people that like this kind of real talk, and there's people that don't. Like, I know I have people in my chat, and that's totally fine, like, don't get me wrong. They're like, as soon as I sit there like for longer than half an hour or an hour that I do my makeup, where they're like, okay, Julia, can we start playing games now? We'll listen to you for an hour. And that is fine as well. But so here I feel the freedom of just being
Same.
able to talk.
And like since we started all doing this, I feel like because I'm not a person that shares every, like, let's say brain fart or every thought on my social media,
Hmm.
because it's the same with my, like, I treat it as real life. Like, I do not bring out all the thoughts I have if it's just a, a temporary thought I have, and then I just like let it fade away again, because
Mm.
like your brain's constantly thinking, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not that person kind of person that keeps posting everything she thinks. And some people on Twitter, for example,
Yeah.
or
Best
general social
example.
media do it. And you either like once you start with this, and sometime or at some point you get to get, or you it starts to get like recognition, because people
Mm.
just throw out their farts. But the thing is that it works, like obviously,
Yeah, of
because
course it works, but
Twitter,
it's
for
super
example,
dangerous. It's such a rabbit hole.
yes, and the thing with me is I am not, that's what I question myself so often if this is, if this is the right place for me, like social media in general, because I
Mm.
am not the person that shares every single thought or puts it out. Like, even though if it's a good one or a bad one or whatever I want to say, I do not constantly post on Twitter like every hour one thought I have or whatever, which keeps the algorithm going, right?
Mm. But I
Same on
think
Instagram.
honestly, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I think
Mhm.
that's our age and our maturity and like how
Yeah,
far
and
we
just who
we
I
are.
am.
Yeah, yeah, but it's the same. But if I think about this, right? Like, I'm now
Mhm.
31. If I think back to like the StudiVZ,
I mean, yeah,
SchülerVZ,
yeah,
Facebook
puberty hit hard.
starting times, MySpace times, dude, the
Yeah,
amount of shit I posted, I'm
true.
so happy that that stuff is not on the internet. Like,
Yeah,
cancel culture, like, beside of that, I'm not relevant enough to be canceled. Okay, that's fine. But some of the shit that I posted when
yeah,
I was like
same.
16, like, I posted everything that I thought, and that was from like, uh, I don't know, from like, oh my god, I want to get fucked up tonight,
Heartbroken.
and yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
heartbroken lyrics that I quoted
yeah.
when I felt lonely or whatever. So I'm happy that that is not out there. But if I think back, like, I had actually, realized that I had actually quite a following on MySpace. I had
Really?
quite a following. Yeah, I did. I didn't under a different name, obviously, but like,
Yeah.
I at least locally,
Mm-hmm.
in Austria, like, quite a few people knew who I was as emo Julia back then. Um, so it's
That's the
quite.
thing. Emo stuff and drama stuff works very
Yeah,
well.
for
And
sure.
I want, and I try for
Because
years.
you
I
attract those
try.
people. You attract
I
those
know.
people. You know,
Yeah.
if I put out there, oh my god, life is so unfair. Everything is so unlucky. Oh my god, I'm so sad. Nobody's gonna love me. I will never be successful. All the other sad people gonna be like,
Mm,
oh my god, yes, I feel the exact same. Preach, honey. The world is unfair. And then, but the problem is, you attract those people then. And
yeah.
sorry for booping the microphone, but for me, that is what I don't want, and that's why I
Neither
don't
do I.
post it in this moment, because those
But
people cling to you then, you know?
the thing with, and especially the last 2 years have been rough for everyone, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like for myself, it's so hard. Um, I want to shift this, right? I
Hmm.
want to be a person you look at the stories and you feel, as you said, I want to be the battery charger.
Yeah.
And I still don't know for myself how to attract more of the positive people, because, and that is one thing that's a fact, Twitch and everything is about gossip. and the fucking drama. And I am no drama queen because I CBA and I do not care how you fail or what you said or if you showed your coochie or if there was a nipple slip or whatever. I couldn't care less about that bullshit because it's basically becoming Hollywood for Twitch. And I do not care about these non-interesting bullshit things. It's like, I don't care. Like, if it happens, it happens.
Like
And don't make...
I don't care which condiment Hassan said this weekend got banned for. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of stuff, or who reacted to Naruto or watched like 500 episodes of Naruto on Twitch and then get banned 2 weeks later because the system of banning on Twitch is shit. As you say, like, I'm not interested in that either. But as you said, like, you want to be that positive example, right? Like, I'm the same. I want people, if they open my stories, like, I don't want them to be not afraid. Afraid is maybe the wrong wording, but I don't want them to worry like, oh, if I'm gonna open a story of her, is it gonna be one of her negative things again? Like, I want to be that person that is obviously honest. Like, I don't want to paint a picture like Steffi, you know it, like social media, society wants to portray portray a picture on the outside that your life is perfect. Like, Instagram is supposed to be a highlight reel. Like, everything that you post on the internet should look as perfect as possible. There should be no cellulite on your bikini picture. Supposed under quotation marks, please. Don't get me wrong. There's in your background it should be clean and then and fancy and everything, and then you turn the camera for half a meter and then behind you see the trash bags, you know, those kind of things. Like, nobody's life is perfect. It doesn't matter if you're famous, if you are a streamer, if you're working a normal 9-to-5 office job. Like, it doesn't matter. We have this urge of always portraying our life to be as perfect as possible, and that is so much pressure, and that is why a lot of us people are afraid to fail and feel like we're failing, because we see all of those examples from all of those people that to the outside have a perfect life, which they don't, but they do not show it. And I catch myself often with, oh yeah, I want to post something, but I'm like, oh shit, but in the background my kitchen is dirty right now, and I know if I post it, like a quick story, you know, like I record something funny, and then, oh no, there's like dirty plates, and I don't know, there's cat hair on the couch that I didn't vacuum away, or on my black hoodies it's full of Yuna's white hair, which is normal because it's a fresh washed hoodie, but I carried my cat for 30 seconds, now it's white. You know, that kind of stuff where I try to censor myself, and I really try to not.
You know what,
that?
Julia?
Yeah.
We should start normalizing messes as well. Or not messes, but like normal, like apartments
of course.
and shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, it's normal that I have fucking tissue paper lying next to me. It's normal that my coffee cup has like coffee on the side because it overran. It's fine that I have spaghetti sauce on my hoodie that I wear for 3 hours.
It's like, I want this to be like, I want this to show more again. Like, you just gave me the idea. I just want to show this more, because also with the perfect stuff on social media, people feel sometimes you can like catch yourself in feeling bad because you see someone traveling so much, or everything, as you said, is so perfect all the time in their apartment or in their house or wherever they live. So, but honestly, guys, it's just the part you see. Everything else, it doesn't look like this. It's when I, for example, was in Egypt, I was super shocked in the beginning because like there's trash everywhere, even in the desert. Like I was I went quad driving in the desert, and there were fucking plastic bags coming along my way. So everything is dirty. And then some people, like, when they're on vacation, they post pictures of the exact same spot, looked super beautiful, super awesome, everything perfect. And I knew exactly, like, if you just tilt the camera like 2 meters to the left or to the right, there's just trash everywhere. And that's what I showed both sides of like my vacation.
Yeah, I remember you showed like the river with like all the plastic flowing in it,
and so much trash in it. And I was so shocked, and I just wanted to share this because the vacation in general was beautiful. I love Egypt and everything. But you also need to be aware that it's not only like what you see in the pictures, it's fucking dirty and everything.
You
So
just
I
you
wanted to
yeah,
share both
I love
sides.
that. I love that. But you just gave me an idea. You know, like I had the call with the person from OnlyFans, and I was
Mhm.
like, listen, like I would love to have a profile, but I don't know what I should post. You know, like I don't
Mhm.
necessarily want to create even more
My
content.
messy life.
Exactly. And she said, listen, OnlyFans is made mostly the way they designed it is to show
Mhm.
everything behind the scenes, stuff that you
Yeah.
would usually not show on other social medias, to share that with the people.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking about, you know, that could be content that I could start sharing. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
look, that is my new YouTube video. And if I turn my camera 1 meter further to the left, this is what
Yeah.
it really looked like. I had like a
Yeah.
pile of boxes or something stacked next to my door. So I'm thinking maybe because I'm not sure how people will. I mean, obviously, like I try to show those things on Instagram now,
Mhm.
or even, you know, as I said, it doesn't matter if it's real life stuff, or in the sense of, oh yeah, there's like a plate. Like again, Steffi and
Yeah.
me, we try
Yeah.
not to say it's normal that you live in German. We have the word messy for it. I'm not sure, like hoarders and stuff. Like we're not saying it's okay to be a hoarder or to live like in dirt that goes up to your ankle, or have like cat piss and cat shit lying around. Like not that. We're talking about normal.
Fucking plates on the
Yeah, like
table or
it's fine
whatever.
to not wash your dishes for 2 days if you
Yeah.
don't feel like it, you know.
Yeah.
Or it's fine to have a dirty dish tissue lying next to you on the table for 2 days, or whatever it is. It's more about that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking maybe I start posting that kind of stuff on my OnlyFans, and then here and there make some feeding, you know. No, no, but yeah. So Steffi, we have a new thing to do. We're gonna show more realistic stuff, and I know there's
I
a
want to
lot
do
of
this, yeah.
people. There's especially a lot of people when it comes to body image that do that I really really love. I follow a lot of those people. I forgot. Do you know this? I don't want to say older lady because she's maybe only 10 years older than me, but she's like, I guess she's like 40, maybe 50. No, I think she's probably in her 40s. And she is a woman with a normal body. So she's
Mhm.
not overweight or something, but she's also not a 90-60-90 lady, right? And
Mhm.
she, with her normal body, with cellulite, with like rolls on the belly, like back rolls, whatever it is, but she's super super beautiful, and she
Yeah.
recreates typical Instagram pictures from like the super skinny
Yeah, I
models.
know what
You
who
know,
you
you
mean.
know
Yeah.
which one I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
sadly
Yeah.
don't remember her name,
Yeah.
but she
I
is
don't know either.
amazing, and I love
Mhm.
it. This is the content, like I follow so many creators like this, but then again, I'm kind of afraid of sharing that myself. But then even if I think about, like, you remember we took the bikini pictures that you took
Mhm.
with me last year? Was
Mhm.
it last year? Was it 2 years ago?
2 years
2
ago,
years
yeah.
ago. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
obviously, like, I'm not super skinny, but I was really afraid to share those, and I mostly just shared the ones that didn't show too much. See, maybe I could show those on OnlyFans as well to see what the people think.
Mhm.
But now that I think about it, as soon as I showed something where I had the biggest critics to myself, where I was like, oh, I failed. This is an amazing picture, but I failed with my diet. I failed the way I positioned myself, because you can see a
Mm.
belly roll, or because you can see my cellulite, or because you can see that my arms are not sticks, but like more
Yeah.
like hot wings. Um, and
Our hot wings.
yeah, exactly, like the wiggly little wings. So I felt again like I failed because I don't have the
Mm.
body that the world expects me to have, and I would maybe want to have. So
But that's the thing. We need to care less.
exactly, but you
Like,
know what?
we
Now
are
I'm
who we
proud of
are.
those pictures. I'm
Yeah,
now 2 years
same.
later. I'm like, wow, I love those
Yeah.
pictures. They're amazing. But in
Yeah.
the moment, I was like, oh no, I can't post
Mm.
them.
I mean, obviously, Julia, you took the personality test. You've changed a lot as well. So
Exactly,
within a
exactly.
year, there was a lot happening, a lot of transformation, transition, everything. So
You're right. You're right. So
yeah,
maybe I'm gonna start posting there some pictures that never made it to the gram.
yeah.
Maybe
That's
let's
what
do
I
that.
like. I try with my stories when I dance or whatever, right?
It's
And
so
I even if I
cute.
just yeah, even if I just wear my t-shirt and my panties, I don't care because this is like what I do. And even if I dance in my kitchen, probably 20 other people would see it because I'm living like there's basically backyards everywhere in Graz where I live. And there's like a lot of houses around. So if I do that, people see me anyways. Or if I go to the beach and in my bikini,
Yeah,
people see my
exactly.
body anyways. So I am not one of those people who is afraid of like what people think if I show myself in like lesser clothes or whatever, because that's literally I'm just dancing, you know what I mean? I'm not sexualizing anything. If you think you sexualize my body in that
Yeah,
moment,
that's
that's
you and
fine.
not yeah,
Yeah, that
that's
is not me. And if
yeah.
people think this is too much, then please just unfollow me because that's literally just a person like
Honestly,
dancing or
those are my favorite stories of you. You just
my
vibing and
bathroom
dancing.
dancing
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah, I love it. But again to talk to get a little bit back on the topic. So I have in our list it says content you're proud of but doesn't work. So it's kind
Yeah.
of I talked about content that I was first not proud of and now I'm proud of, you know, the pictures we
Mhm.
took 2 years ago. Um
Mhm.
but also, for example, content that doesn't work out well for me but I'm really proud of is my YouTube videos. I'm so
Mhm.
sad. Like I have Jess working for me. I think it's been 2 years now, maybe, or a
Yeah.
year,
Yeah.
year and
Yeah.
a half, something like that. And she's creating the greatest YouTube videos out
Yeah.
of like you know, stream highlights or even content that I create additional outside of stream. And my
Mhm.
YouTube videos do not work out great. I don't even get 1,000 views on them sometimes. And it's so much
Yeah.
not that I'm saying like, oh yeah, they deserve so much more. In my mind, I think they do because it's great content. I think
And you put so much work in it
yeah,
and love
exactly.
and like
Like you have to
dedication to it.
exactly. Now think about if I sit there and stream for 6 hours, right? Um
Mm.
I would have to see how many views like one stream of mine gets, but it's usually I think like let's
Thousands
say
of views you
yeah,
have.
you get thousands of views.
Yeah.
Let's say like 4 or 5 thousand views or something on one
Yeah.
stream, right?
Let me check real quick.
Yeah.
Keep talking, hun.
Yeah, you fact check in the meanwhile,
Yeah, I do.
and then you have a YouTube video where you work or where Jess works on like probably way more hours than that. Let's say 6, 8, maybe 10 hours on the video, and the video doesn't even get 1,000, and that is compromised the best moments out of a stream,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
nobody watches that. So I'm like, and I'm so torn between do I stop doing YouTube because apparently nobody's really interested. Like it is money that I put in month after month for years because I
Yeah.
think it is valuable content, but it doesn't work out. And then again,
Mm.
like as you said also earlier, easy content that maybe sometimes doesn't have a lot of editing. Like you, for example, say your reaction content, right? You don't edit it. You capture your emotions for 10
Yeah.
minutes when you react to something, you upload it, boom, done. And you have thousands of views. And that is
Yeah.
something that is really frustrating and makes you feel like you failed sometimes on social media. Like not taking the credit away from the content that you make because it's amazing. It's
But it's the
obviously great
same
and
for
it
me.
works.
Like the thing is, I started doing this completely like spontaneously when the KDA, the first KDA song in 2020 came out, like
Mhm.
the baddest. And I was like, I was just sitting here with Ben back in the days, and we were waiting for the countdown to go down. And I was like, you know what? I'm just turning on OBS, and I
Got your reaction?
record my reaction, and then I uploaded it, and it just like exploded. And then I was like, okay, if this is working, I'm doing it because people apparently enjoy my reaction to these things. Obviously, because there's a lot of hype about Riot Games as well, and all they do is freaking amazing. So I love reacting to these things. But as you said, like it's raw material. I literally just edit the end with like an ending screen, and that's about it. And other things where you work on for so long, highlight videos of your gaming content on Twitch, best of clips. Even if you just storyboard concepts for pictures you want to take or whatever.
Or like you
Sometimes,
remember the vlog that you made? That was so good. I loved your vlog for Become the Next Creator. You remember that
mm-hmm,
one?
mm-hmm,
Oh, I love that video so much.
yeah. And it's just you do so much work and with with other things where you don't put that much work in, it works better. And that's what's kind of like frustrating sometimes. And you start questioning yourself, like, why would I even put more work into something if the other stuff works better,
Yeah,
like way
exactly.
better?
work
It's
work
just
work smart, not hard, that kind of thing, right?
yeah, exactly. And then there comes the imposter syndrome again, because I feel like I didn't do much and don't deserve
Yeah, yeah.
this, but apparently I do, because otherwise I would have not gotten it. So it's just like, it's so, the balance is very hard here. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, I prefer quality over quantity, always have. That's what I got taught from home, like at
Mm-hmm.
home, quality over quantity. I rather have one pair of shoes that lasts for a very
Same,
long
yeah.
time instead of like 10 cheap ones that you can throw away after 2 months of wearing them.
Mm-hmm.
And the same is with my content on social media, but you need to be constantly like there. So you cannot produce quality content every single day, because sometimes it's trends, sometimes it's memes, sometimes it's
Unless you
quality
have a
content.
team, unless you have a full
Yeah,
team behind you that
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
mass produces it. Like that's
yeah,
what people often don't get. Also, like those really really big creators that smash out videos and videos, you have to think about those people. They have huge teams behind them.
yeah,
They
yeah,
often have like a creative head behind them that
yeah,
brainstorms and makes storyboards and thinks for them about ideas, what they're gonna post next. They have
yeah,
somebody that films for them. They have somebody that edits it for them. They have somebody that plans the social media posts, so everything goes out automatically. And
yeah.
that is also, I think, why once you have a certain size, um it's so good for you, because you
And
can,
it's
as a
snowballing.
creator,
Yeah,
yeah, you can basically focus on what you're best at, which is
yeah.
creating content. And then you have all those people that help you. But the problem is to come to that point, to have
This
that
is the hardest
size,
part.
yeah, to afford that. And see, that's
Yeah.
something that I'm so mad at myself that I failed in the
Mm,
past when I had that reach, that I didn't realize, hey, now is the moment I invest into people that help me creating the content, to
yeah.
then snowball into getting more. And instead, I did the exact opposite. And I failed. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. In my mind, I reached a certain size that I wanted. I had a certain viewer base where I had like 2,000 viewers, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, that's
Mm,
all that I want. And then I was not interested in growing anymore. I was like, okay, I achieved that. You know what I want to do
yeah,
now?
yeah, yeah.
I want to be successful. I want to prove to myself that I can be a competitive CSGO player. And then I
Mm,
just threw what I had, in a sense, away, and I just focused on playing and let go of everything else. And
yeah.
that was my biggest fail, and that almost like broke my whole streaming career. And I'm still till this day suffering, because suffering from that decision, in a sense that I made it to a peak, completely broke everything down, and now I'm like, if you will, hard stuck at this place. Like, don't get me wrong, like I'm in a happy place. I make more money than I
Mm,
made before, because I got way smarter, and the industry evolved, right?
yeah,
Than I did in the past. But if I could have this chance again to get to that level, that would
mm,
be my dream. But again, like
yeah,
again, it's also fine for me, because that was one of the most important life lessons for me that
yeah,
I had. And so it not only affects me in a negative way, it also affects me in a very positive way, because
yeah,
now I appreciate way more than what I have right now than I ever appreciated everything that I had back then.
yeah.
So,
Let
but
me
yeah,
just throw in real quick before I
yeah, sure.
forget this. Between 3.8 and 5K views you get per stream.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Sorry,
and now
just
think
so I don't
about that.
forget.
Like, I get in 6 hours, I get 3 to 4 times as much as I get when I pay Jess to edit a video for me for hours and hours that not even
Yeah,
1,000 people watch. See, and
yeah,
that's the thing. Also, again, with social media, like I think I said it already in multiple videos, but the problem with social media is, in other jobs, the more hours you put in, the more successful you're gonna be, right? But
mm,
working in social media, to a certain extent, maybe, but you cannot force success. It is
yeah,
like such a weird mix, and it's so often a question also of your, like, as Steffi and me also said in the episode where we said why we don't stream in German. Like, I
Yeah.
think we all know there's certain things that we could do to grow. Like, I could go out there when
Definitely.
Steffi and me, okay, we're streaming in German now. Okay, we're making a German podcast. We get those people in. I mean, maybe we're gonna make a German podcast episode one day, you know, where we have maybe
Yeah.
some really interesting German guests on here. But
Mhm.
in general, I'm just saying, like, imagine we would just switch everything up. We do reaction content. Like, I just pump out reaction content on YouTube, or we start drama on Twitter. I just start shit talking people, or say controversial stuff on social media, because that's what people do. Like, you often when you read people saying controversial fucked up shit on social media, you often think like, oh my god, what the fuck is that idiot saying? Like, I have to put that person in place for whatever fucked up shit they said. But
Yeah.
what you're not aware of, that most of the time when people do that, they do that exactly for that reason, because they know
Yeah.
if they say something fucked up, there's gonna be people trying to tell them that it's wrong whatever they said, and
Yeah.
boom, they have 100,000 interactions. They get so much shit, but the shit that they're getting is also interactions, which gives them reach, which gives them exposure, which in the long run gives them fame, which gives them money. And that's how the world goes round. And that is something, I think Steffi has the same kind of misery with me, where I want to grow or continue growing and evolve in a way that I can sleep at night and feel good about what I create.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's only like very little people who do that and are successful with this without
Yes.
shit talking anyone else, without producing drama.
No. Like, again, it's fine
I'm
for
just
them.
thinking of, yeah, obviously, but that's not the way I want to go, and that has never been the way I chose, because that's simply not the person I am.
Exactly same.
But for example, my biggest role models when it comes to this is Tim the Tatman, Sweet Tails.
Yes.
She's a freaking queen.
100%.
So, and this is the kind of like content or kind of like vibe and energy I wanna spread as well, instead of constant bullshitting. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
I can't, guys.
same. But those are really, really good examples, I think, that you put out there.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. But yeah, maybe to like mix it up a little bit. So we're talking about fails today, right? Steffi, we had a little bit of a chat before that we could also talk about maybe some funny fails that we maybe had in our life that we want to share. Did you come up with any like funny things that happened to you, or not at all?
My goldfish brain, I can't.
You can't.
You start, okay? I'll try to
start.
come up with something. Maybe I remember something when you start.
Don't worry. So
funny fails.
So we wrote down, or I wrote down like some fails for me in the.
I have a funny fail.
You have one? Go ahead.
Yeah,
go
I
ahead.
have one.
Quick,
It's a
before you
very
forget it.
okay. It's a very embarrassing one.
That's a
But
good one.
it's not really a like, I don't know if I would consider it a fail, but it was a very embarrassing like moment or situation with me. It was in the very beginning with Max. When I was like, when we just had everything like going on, like we got to know each other, and I started sleeping over at his place more often. So after the fun love part you have, like we both slept in the bed naked. And I was lying on my back, my my butt cheeks like obviously clenched, right, because I'm a bit thicker. So, and I was sleeping, but I woke up because I heard myself farting so loud that it basically, like, my butt cheeks started vibrating. So I woke up from this and I panicked so much, because it was in the very beginning with Max, right? I panicked so much if he like that he heard it or woke up from it, because it was really loud and it sounded like, it's not gonna lie, guys, I thought I sharted, but I didn't. It sounded like wet farts, you know what I mean?
Oh no. Did he hear it?
And that was, no, he didn't. He was sleeping. He didn't hear anything, but I was like, fuck. Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. And then years after, I think even like 2 years ago or so, I told him that, and we just laughed about it. Like, it was so funny. But
Oh
at
my
that
god.
moment, I was just panicking hard.
That just reminded me of something. I actually just
Oh.
talked about it in our WhatsApp group the other day. Um, so that was also in the very beginning when I started dating Nathan, and
Mhm.
so we just moved together.
Mhm.
Um, for the people that know, we moved together pretty fast after like being together for half a year, and we always had an iPad. When we were in bed, like back in our first apartment, we didn't have a TV in our bedroom, so we would watch
Mhm.
TV series on our iPad. And Nathan is traveling a lot because he plays on tournaments and stuff, and
Mhm.
your girl watches the romantic adult movies on the iPad usually when I'm alone at home,
Mhm.
you know, I watch them on my iPad. And so one day before he came back from a tournament, I watched my romantic adult movie on my iPad, was done with being interested in the movie, if you will. And
Mhm.
I just closed the iPad. Like I just locked it. I didn't like close the
Right.
website or anything. I just locked it and put the iPad on the nightstand. Forgot about it, obviously, because yeah. And then
Uh-huh.
I think like a day later, 2 days later, Nathan came back and we were like, okay, yeah, we should just watch an episode of our favorite show in bed on the iPad. And he was like, sure. He grabs the iPad. And at this point, you know, when you're like not that long together, like obviously, you know that the other person watches porn, right? Or
Yeah.
like, you know, what kind of stuff they're into or whatever. And the worst thing, it was so embarrassing for me. He took the iPad, he unlocked it, and for some reason, it just started playing the porn.
No. Oh
And it was like the most, like, I mean, it was nothing like super crazy, but there was just a bunch of people, you know, having a
my
good time
god.
together. And it was just like the finishing scene with like, I don't know, 6 people or something. And he's like, what? Okay. Yeah. And so we're watching Netflix and we're watching this. And that was the time where how Nathan found out my adult video choice. So
That's
that
amazing.
was really funny. Like in the moment, I like died on the inside a little bit because we were
Of
not together
course.
for so long. But that was pretty funny one for me.
Oh my god.
And
That's hilarious.
and another one that comes to my mind, like this one is literally burned into my brain. That was something that happened to me when I was like, I think I was like 10 or 11. And that
Uh-huh.
one is till this day the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me. So, you know, when you're in
Oh.
school and you have like a crush on somebody in your class,
Mhm.
and I was not one of the cool kids. Like, I was always hanging with like the nerdy boys playing magic cards, is what I did.
Mhm.
And there was this guy, he was kind of like the sporty, cool kid. Like, he was the most popular dude in our class. And he was so
Mhm.
cute. And we went to like some kind of picnic in the Europa Park back then.
Mhm. Mhm.
So for people that know, it's like a park here where we live. And we had a
I'm
picnic
just
and
trying to find a
everybody.
picture. Meanwhile, as well, a funny one. Keep
Yeah,
keep
sure.
going. Sorry.
No
Yeah.
problem. And yeah, we had to bring our own snacks and stuff. And I brought bonbons. Like, I don't know, do you know those ice bonbons? Those light blue ones
The
that
ice
like feel
bear.
cold?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
had those. And so everybody could take from the other people's snack. And so the really, really how do you say it? Not famous, what is the name? Like the really, really, really popular dude. He
Mhm.
comes up to the blanket where I was sitting with my friends, with my nerd friends, and he comes up to me. Obviously, I think he liked me back maybe a little bit, but he would never say it, right? So he comes
Mhm.
over and he's like, "Oh, you have some of those. I love those. Can I have one?" And I, on the inside, I was so shy back then, and I fully panicked. I was like, "Oh my god, my crush is asking me for a bonbon. What am I doing?" And I full on panicked. I was like, I need to be cool. Okay, Julia, play it cool. You can't act like you like him. Okay, so I was like, I took a bonbon, I threw it at his face because I wanted to be cool, and then I say, "Here, take it. I hope you choke on it."
Oh.
And it was so embarrassing. And he just looks at me like he catches the bonbon that I threw at his head. And he just looked at me and was just like, what the like, he didn't say anything. You could just see the confusion in his head. And he was like, I just
Yes.
asked you for a bonbon. Do you tell me to choke on it?
Oh my god.
And that was so embarrassing. And afterwards, I felt like dying. I felt like, oh no, I want to disappear into nothing.
Ah,
Yeah, that was till this day the most embarrassing thing I ever did.
ah, yeah,
Philip, if you're ever
yeah.
hearing this, I'm so sorry. I really liked you. I didn't know how to handle it. That was my
Oh
worst
my
moment
god.
for sure. Oi, oi, oi.
Ah,
Hard one.
alarm.
Alarm. Denke, das Steffi.
Alarm. Oh,
Yeah. But
I have one
you have
more.
one more? Oh my god, tell us.
It's just a life fail.
Mm-hmm.
That happened to me. I was like this one day, it was spring, I think. I was driving to my university with the tram. Because we were working on a video project together with friends, like my other uni colleagues. And we were in this like in the working room with all the PCs editing the video, and then I went to the toilet
Mm-hmm.
and it was super like how to say windy in my back, like and at my like bottom area felt like a little bit windy. So when I pulled down my trousers, I realized it was ripped open at my
No.
at my ass,
Oh
like
no.
right at my ass. So and I was like, okay, fuck, what do I do now? Because I didn't really have like much clothes with me. I think I had like one of these normal like spring jackets you had and the normal hoodies. So I was like, I ran back to the editing room and screamed at my friends and was like, dude, guys, didn't you see that I have a fucking hole in my pants right where my ass is in the middle? You could see both of my butt cheeks. I'll show
Oh
you now, guys.
no.
Okay, are
I
you
have
ready
the
for this?
picture.
This is a
Oh my
cute
god.
little peach. Okay, hold up.
Oh
I
my
don't know
god,
if you can see this.
yeah, you need to look at the picture. Oh no,
You see
Steffu.
this? This is how I ran around in uni, okay?
She's showing it on YouTube, guys, in case.
Okay, and then I was just screaming, and everyone, and after that, we all started blasting out in laughter so hard because it looked so funny. And then
Oh my
I was recapping my day, like what? Because also at the tram, I was leaning at the window because there was no seat
No. Oh
free. So I
no.
was like going through all the scenarios where I was and who could have seen my ass cracks, butt cheeks. But to be I was lucky because I think I was wearing like a jacket that
Was
covered it.
covering
I'm
it.
not
Oh
sure
my.
anymore. But yeah, that's and then I had to drive home again with this. It was a very funny and interesting day. We definitely laughed a lot.
I mean, that's a good thing. Like
Ah,
when you can learn how to deal with failure, and
yeah, yeah.
that's something that I really had to learn because I don't know, it broke me down. Like I so often felt so useless and like imposter syndrome, everything. But now how I learned to live with failure, or how to look at failure, first of all, as you said
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning, look at the bigger picture, right?
Yeah.
To also see that whenever you fail in something, you get the chance to learn from it. If you want to learn from it, it's your own decision. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can take something from it and learn how to make it better the next time, or even if it's something that you can't influence, right? If it's like right now with Twitch, for example,
Yeah.
if you can't influence it, you can also decide how to handle the failure. You can be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna drown in my own self-pity now, or I'm gonna make the best out of it and just wait till this time is gonna be over and enjoy it anyway, because there's nothing I can change. If there's something
Yeah.
that is out of my control, there's no need to worry about it, because worrying about it is just gonna make it worse for you mentally, and
Yeah.
it won't change it in any
Also,
way.
yeah. And also, guys, always keep in mind whenever you watch stories or content of people like that are in or working in the social media field, most of us are constantly failing. That's
Yeah.
just how it is.
That's
And
true,
this
that's
is
true.
how we learn, or how and that or how we learn and that we can learn from. Because if we don't fail, we don't know what like you keep trying until something works out for you, right?
Yeah, exactly, it's trial and
So
error,
and you find
exactly.
your way exactly.
Mm.
Because I still, if I'm honest, I still don't know which direction I want to go or am going, because there's so much stuff I like doing on the social media. But now, like, I start realizing how to deal better with it, because I always kept saying to myself, or telling myself that I need to, like, um how to say that, I need to represent one point, I need to be or stand for this or for that. But if I see it like bigger companies, for example, if you have a bigger company, they always have smaller company or other
Mhm.
companies, like most of them are chains, right? So they have more different businesses in different areas, and they represent the different areas. You just don't
Exactly.
know that they're all like the same, or the same person is standing behind all of these. So, and what I'm trying to do right now is re restructure this for myself, because I always felt the pressure that I have to stand for a certain point with my content, and this is the only thing. I cannot do more because I'm so I do so much with my blueprints, reaction content, Twitch. I did OnlyFans. I did that. I did that. I did that. And I felt like I could not focus on, or nothing is like the one thing that is standing out for me, because I
Mhm.
am not focusing on that one thing that much. But now I see it more like I just need to make my points for all the things. I don't have to choose one of these. I can do all of them. I just need to know how, and just be on point with it. It's hard, especially when you're alone and do more than one thing. Because what the other things will always like get less attention, right?
Mhm.
Um, but I'm trying. Like, that's what I realized for myself, that I don't have to be this one person, because that's not what I am or who I am. I just can't. Like, I cannot say, for example, with video games. I played a lot of Overwatch. I had my most viewers, like my highest viewer count with Overwatch all the time.
Oh, did you
Game
see
died.
you can sign up today for
I
Overwatch
did,
2?
yeah.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
It just
I
came
have
out today.
not much hope, but
I
yeah,
saw
I
it.
did. um, so yeah, and what did I want to say?
So that with grouping up into different parts of your
Yeah, I'm just trying to restructure everything right now. Um, because I do a lot of things. Obviously, I always think I can do more, which is a
But
problem
that's
because
everybody. That's
I
everybody.
know it's just, and that's where I think at this point, like, I'm always like, I'm a very grateful person with everything I have, and I am not a person that constantly wants more about something. But when it comes to this, it's always like I feel like I need to do more,
Yeah, same.
because I'm failing. I'm failing. I'm failing. I'm failing. I'm failing. I
You're
need to
not
do
good
more. I need to do
enough. You
more.
need to
Yeah.
do more. There's
Yeah.
other people
Yeah.
that do stuff better, but you have to think about most of the people that are successful in one field, they succeed in one field and not many at the same time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's depending. Obviously, there's people that are winning in many, many fields as well, but usually they try to focus on one.
Yeah. It's just when this one thing is not working out, I'm basically having like just more income, how to say it,
Sources.
more income
I mean,
sources.
that's how you
And
should do it. You should have different
mm,
sources of also in social media. No, like different channels,
yeah,
different platforms that you deliver to. So in case one falls away or maybe it dips down low, like
yeah,
for example now with Twitch, you have other
mm,
ones that you can rely on. So you're doing it already really great. And you know what I learned, um, to make me see the wins that I'm having. I actually learned that in therapy is two things. So the first thing is I make lists
mm-hmm,
of every year of what I want to achieve and what I achieved and what I'm proud
mm-hmm,
of. And now think back to where you were 5 years ago. And a person from 5 years ago would see what you're doing now and then think
yeah,
about how that person would react, because we're often so blind to how far we've come. So as a human,
yeah,
you're always like thriving for more and more. So you set a goal, you reach the goal, and before you even reached the one goal you set, you're already thinking about, oh, what's gonna be the next goal after that, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
so you always think like, oh, once I reach that mile point, I'm gonna be happy. But in the end, we're never enjoying the present where we are, but
yeah,
we're always
yeah,
striving for more or for different or for another success. And if you kind of reverse engineer that and think about like, listen, 5 years ago, I didn't own a house. 5 years ago, if I look at how my stream looked like, look at how cool my stream background looks like now. 5 years ago, it looked like a freaking potato. Like
Yeah.
I am the streamer I wanted to be 5 years ago. Maybe not in size necessarily, but 100% in the values that I stand for. I became from a battery drainer, hopefully in something like a battery charger for some people. I hope I can offer some kind of safe space for people.
Yeah.
On a personal level, I am as happy as I could be with me as a person. I'm happy that I work on myself as much as I can, and
Yeah.
I try to be as open as possible to other people. And another thing that I learned with like bad habits, right? So it doesn't matter
Mhm.
in which in which direction in life it is. But if you're unsure on how to change stuff, or if you continue with doing things, let's say an easy example, right? Not necessarily, I don't want to trigger anybody with like problems with how you're eating or whatever it is, but let's say
Mhm.
a really easy example is like, let's say eating fast food, right? You eat fast food and you
Mhm.
feel bad about it. So there's the thing with like the 5-year method is what I use, or the 1 year, 10-year method, whatever, is if you have to decide between two things, right? Let's say a good thing
Mhm.
and a bad thing. So for example, you ask me, Julia, do you want to go to McDonald's, or do you want to go to, I don't know, a normal Italian restaurant where you can have something, a healthier
Mhm.
version, for example, of food? Or you just give me like, Julia, do you want healthy chicken and rice, or do you want a Big Mac, right?
Mhm.
And I make the decision to eat a Big Mac. And now
Mhm.
think about, if 1 year from now, every time I have to make a decision, I will always choose the Big Mac. Imagine what that does to my body 1 year from now
Mhm.
if I do that decision every time. So I will most likely gain weight. I will get unhealthier. My vascular fat, is that the one that's on your heart, is probably going to rise, and so on. There's a lot of negative things
Mhm.
that happen in a year. And think about, if I make the same decision every time for the next 5 years, I will probably maybe get some health problems. I will even get bigger and bigger. And then think about what that decision is going to do to me if I make the decision every single time for 10 years. That's the way I
Mhm.
try to think about it. And then you can reverse engineer that and be like, okay, if this one time I choose the chicken and rice, and do that for 1 year, after 1 year, I'm gonna feel so much healthier. I'm maybe gonna lose some weight. I'm maybe not gonna have any problem with like the vascular fat or whatever it is, and so on and so on and
Mhm.
so on. And you can do the same thing in 5 years. How will that make you feel in 5 years and 10 years? And that you can do every time. Like, let's say you're done with work and you decide, do you for half an hour go for a walk, or do you straight go into bed and watch a TV show? And if you
Mhm.
make that decision once a week, that you go for the walk instead of watching one more episode of something, 1 year from now, you're going to feel so much better. 5 years
Yep.
from now, you're going
Yep.
to feel so much better, and so on and so on. So, really trying to look at it uh, in a bigger picture is what helps me, because I never really
Mhm.
thought about it. For me, it was like, oh, it's this one small decision. Like, even in business,
Mm.
like,
Yeah.
if,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not gonna record this video, or I'm just gonna cancel today's recording with Steffi because I don't feel like it, right? But
Yep.
if I continue to show up every week over and over and over again, it's gonna result into being something really positive in my life, right? And you can use
Yep.
this
Yep.
principle on everything.
Yep.
um and like journaling, writing lists, um really trying to show yourself the wins that you have. Like, I mean, of course there's negative things, but you can also focus on the positive.
That's
Like,
what even though I'm such a positive person, but when it comes to my work on social media, I never see my wins.
same.
Funnily enough, it's like it's so weird. I just don't see it unless you like until you come up with it, or like for example with your examples and methods right now. If I don't see it, probably because you can't, like, you have nothing physical, you
Yeah.
know.
Mm.
Same with graphic design and everything. you see the cool outcome, but nowadays still
But like
people do not see the work behind it. And that's
imagine
the same
5
with
years
social
ago,
media.
Steffi would see our podcast that we're doing right now. She would be,
True.
holy shit, that's fucking cool.
True.
You
Yeah.
know? That
Yeah.
kind of things, or think about like, I don't know, you do so many cool things. You do so many cool designs. You work with so many people. You help so many
Yeah.
people with the work that you're doing.
Yeah.
Think about the quality of content that you create. Like, okay, maybe you don't reach as many people as super huge influencers, but in the end, like, you have values, you have such high quality in everything you do, no matter, even if it's
Trying.
just reaction content. Like, just alone look at your thumbnails. Like, they stand out so much compared to other people
you.
that just like smash on like a shitty quality something picture on it, or even just the layouts of our podcast. If you're watching it on YouTube, like, you make different color variations for every month, if you didn't notice yet.
Yep.
Everything looks so cute and everything is so professional. You schedule in all of our posts and stuff like that. Do you know how much you like, if this podcast would just be me, I would never like, that's just something that I'm good at, to make like graphics like that and like write the post in like a perfect way. But like, putting the two of us together in working something like that makes it just so much better and so much more enjoyable for me. And you can be so proud of yourself.
Same. It's just, it's very hard for me to see these things because I can't touch it. Like, I cannot physically touch it. And but I have to say, since we started with the podcast, it has changed. Like, the podcast has changed so much for myself, because this is, as you said earlier, this is the safe space for me as well. And this is the place where I feel like people are here because they want to hear what we're saying, and they want to see and or hear our opinions on things. And they're here because of us and not because of the dumb trend we're following or whatever. It's simply just because of us. And that's what I really started realizing through the podcast. Thanks to the podcast, thanks to you all guys, because you enjoy what Julia and I are doing here. So I enjoy it even more to like create more of this with her together and just talk about these things. And for the first time in forever, since I do social media, I feel like the people are here because they like hearing what I have to say about certain topics.
Exactly.
And this is what makes me feel
Valued?
very valued. Yes. Perfect wording.
For sure. And I have to say, like, if I would have started a podcast alone without you, I doubt that I would be at episode 9 already. I would have probably quit after like
Julia.
4 weeks or something.
You're
like,
so perfect with the leading and everything. Like, I could never do this alone. I'm like, okay, guys, hello. See, I'm so bad at this. That's also because that's also the reason why I do not like do other or create like intros and shit for YouTube, also because I can't be asked to go through a whole like 5-minute intro before the actual video starts. I'm like, even if I just watch, right? So I'm just like, I think when I watch something, I do not want this. So I'm just, okay, yeah, guys, let's just go right into it. I don't know what to say. And Julia's just you were just so perfect with this, with like leading us through the whole conversations and everything. I'd be like, I could never do that. Never.
But it's nice though, right? Because for me, like, thinking if I would have that once a week alone, I need to sit down and record a podcast, and I would have to think about a topic and then like how we lead through the topic and yada yada yada. I would be able to do it, but I know that I wouldn't enjoy it. And for me, it's like, I know once a week I'm gonna meet up with my best friend and talk for like 1 hour about whatever we just feel like. And I know that other people will listen to that and that enjoy it and maybe take something from it that helps them, maybe. Or even if it doesn't, if it's nothing new, if it's something that you already heard a 1,000 times, but you still just like the feeling of just sitting here and spending time with us, that is so valuable to me and just makes me so happy. Like, it doesn't feel like work, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't feel like, I need to sit down and I need to record this again. Like, this is probably the time a week where creating content feels enjoyable and
The most,
yeah, like I enjoy this the most. Like, it's not that I don't enjoy my stream, but again, like, I can just let the juices flow and let it go wherever the fuck I want to without having to censor me while still having a good time with you. And this is probably the one place in social media where for now I have not felt like I failed in any way.
Yeah. Can only agree.
But yeah, I think that was pretty much everything that we wanted to talk about it. So if anybody of you feels like failing in the moment that you're in right now, think about if yourself 5 years from now would see where you are right now. I'm pretty sure that person would be really proud of you and see how far you actually come. And even if you don't see it right now, go sit down, write a list of everything you achieved in the last 5 years. Maybe you finished school. Maybe you got a driver's license. Maybe you moved out from home. Maybe if you're too young for that, maybe you got a certain rank in a video game that when you started you thought you would never reach. Maybe it is a physical goal with your body that you achieved. Maybe it's something about health. Maybe you were really unhealthy in the past or had a sickness that you weren't sure if you would recover from, and now you did. Maybe you got the pet that you always wanted. Maybe you got the courage to color your hair in a color that 5 years ago you never had the balls to do it, or your parents wouldn't allow you. Like, there's so many things that you can be proud of yourself, or maybe just mentally you're feeling more happy or grateful for things around you. Maybe you're kind of like me, where you shifted from being an energy drainer to an energy charger, or maybe you're still in the way of making those changes. Like, write a list of things that you're grateful for, of things that you're proud of yourself for achieving. And even if you feel like failing right now, I can guarantee you're not. It's just a phase where you feel like it, and there's gonna be better times coming. Okay, we know this last years have been horrible for all of us, especially now, going from the panini into the whole war situation. It is all really, really hard on us to see all of those things unfold. But please also try to see the bigger picture also for yourself. Okay, and try to be proud of yourself. And again, for this episode, I would love to see either you writing in the comments, if you're still listening at so long in, what you're proud of yourself, what you have achieved in the last few years.
Guys, if you listened to this like until here, comment anywhere, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, with a battery, okay? You know the battery emoji?
Yes. Oh my god,
yeah,
yes.
if you hear this right now, please, guys, go on any platform where we're representative with our stuff and post the battery, okay?
Oh yeah, I would like to know that. I'm not sure how many people are actually listening so far in, but that would be super interesting. And if you have the time, again, battery alone is more than fine, but let us know what you're proud of yourself, what you've achieved, and maybe if that is too hard for you at the moment, that is fine as well. Maybe instead send us like a funny fail. Maybe you have a funny...
I was about to say, share a funny fail with us, or instead.
Did you fart next to your boyfriend? Did you let the porn running on your iPad on accident? Something like that. Let us know. I would really like to hear your stories or what you're grateful for. And thank you again for being here. Maybe for the first time, maybe every single week. We appreciate you, and we're proud of you, even if you're not proud of yourself. Then have a beautiful rest of your week. Steffi and me are signing out right now. And we're going to see you again next week, hopefully. Have a beautiful day, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Derps and Burps podcast.
If you enjoyed it, make sure to follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram at derpsnburps. See you online.